Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to another tutorial on my channel. I'm LUHRAK and yeah, hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today we're talking about tails, because we all know as furries that they're totally awesome, right? You always gotta have a tail, very important. So yeah, what are those waggy mood indicators that are just dangling around all the time? Important first thing, they're extensions of the spine. You can also see that still on monkeys and I mean on like all species that have a tail. They're part of the spine and you should treat it as such in your art as well. So you make sure that you think a little bit in like a 3D space and make sure that it comes out at the location where like the spine ends, like at the location where it usually would come out. So you really don't want to like go too high or too low with that. Also obviously not too far to the left and right, which of course makes sense if you draw from the back. I don't think anybody would like misplace it that way. However, if you have like a frontal drawing and you don't actually see the back where it comes out, I often see that the tail is like not placed correctly and therefore it does look sometimes a bit weird, but we'll get to that. First off, let's just draw a basic tail. I mean, obviously they come in many different shapes and sizes, but for now I'll just draw like a kind of basic canine tail. And I hope that still helps even if you have like a more unique kind of tail. So if you draw your body like you usually do, I would recommend starting out with just kind of drawing in the spine where it would be. It does kind of curve around in an S and then it comes out basically where the tail would be. Since we talked about it, it is an extension of the spine. So yeah, just extend that line out, and even if you don't do like the whole spine, I would always recommend doing the line of in the tail. So you just kind of like indicate first where you want to curve it, because often even like if you have longer tails and stuff, it often like even curves like multiple times in different directions. It's always nice to just have the baseline of where you want to place the tail, and you can go from there. So the tail would actually then come out or start at like right between the butt and the lower back, basically. You really want to find the sweet spot there, and yeah, and from there it just kind of grows out. It starts out usually a bit thinner first. Like the actual, if this was like a naked kind of tail, it is like just goes like thinner and thinner as it goes, and it's like the thickest at its base. But if you like consider all the fur, usually it is a little bit like thinner at the base, and then it gets a little bit more brushy because of the fur that like splits away from it. It usually gets thicker and then it goes a bit thinner again towards the tip of the tail, and from there you already have the basic shape of it and the placement, and from there you only need to refine it more, make it a bit fluffy and all that kind of stuff. If you're having trouble with drawing fluff, I have a tutorial on that as well. I'll link it both in the description and right now in the top card. The general principle of this obviously works for every tail, no matter if it's like a lion's tail or like a naked tail, like for a mouse or like a possum or whatever. Like the placement and that it's like part of the spine obviously is always true. However, it will obviously look a bit different, but this should still help you quite a bit if you're starting out. Alright, and now I'd like to talk about something what I mentioned earlier. If you don't actually exactly see where the tail comes out, but you kind of just remember, oh yeah, there is a tail, let me just add that, just kind of draw it to the side. I usually see that in like kind of frontal views, that it's kind of maybe an afterthought or something, but you just like remember, oh yeah, there's a tail, it should be there somewhere. But even then you should obviously consider where's the spine, where would it actually come out, and where would it make sense. So it is like actually, if you would see it from the back, that would make sense that it's actually attached to the right place and not like further to the side of like where you draw the tail. So if it helps you, draw the spine and most definitely draw the line where the tail would be, basically the spine of the tail. I would always recommend that, like I said, because that helps you so much with like figuring out the placement of the tail and makes it so much easier to like go into the further sketching of the tail and further refining and detailing, and just considering for a bit where the spine of the tail would be basically already helps you with the placement as well. And that's all what I have for you today. I hope it helps you out, and if you can't get this to work right away, no worries at all. Obviously everybody's at their point in their art development, and if you need a bit more time, that's absolutely valid. You're valid. all fine. Just try it out a bit with the technique, try it out, practice makes perfect, and at some point you'll be as good as me or even better. And with all that said, thank you very much for watching. If you made it all the way here, I would suppose you enjoyed the video, so boop that like and subscribe button, and other than that, see you in the next one.